We have reached number 83 in our countdown of the 100 greatest video games of all time. And right now we are going to pay homage to our old friend, Rayman.
Rayman.
I say Rayman.
It's Rayman.
Yeah, of course.
The limbless hero.
I know.
Tons of video games.
For some reason, his gloved hands and his... I always am creeped out by characters that wear gloves. Why do all the characters in these games wear gloves? Where have their hands been? What was the first time that Rayman made an impression on you?
I loved Rayman on the Jaguar.
What?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I played it on the
Where's your gray hair?
I played it on the Jaguar. I played it on the PlayStation 1. I played this thing a million different ways, and I loved Rayman 2, and I loved the move into 3D, and now back to 2D with the Rayman Origins
That's
game.
where I got on board, was the move into 3D, and I played it on the Dreamcast, and it was absolutely gorgeous. You started noticing the decadence of some of these levels. I mean, the very, there is a lushness to the entire experience, very fairy tale quality.
Absolutely, beautiful artwork, but also a real passion for music as well, and lots of great little sound effects and crazy little voices.
Let's take a look back at some of our favorite Rayman reviews.
Back in 2003, Rayman made an appearance. It was his third game, Rayman 3, and we're looking at the HD version of it. What'd you think?
Well, it was originally called Hoodlum Havoc because there are some creatures in here called hoodlums that are made out of these black lum things. I never played this the first time around, and boy, am I glad to play it now.
Knowing what a scaredy cat he is, he's probably hiding someplace.
Going through these beautiful, lush forests, and there's all of this activity and lots of cool little animated bits everywhere, lots of hidden creatures to go and find and save. And then you get all these other abilities as well. You get like these cans of spinach that give you these different...
Exactly. I always thought of Popeye. Every time one would pop open and suddenly you had like a claw, a temporary claw that you could use to swing from platform to platform.
Very cool.
It's a restless game. It never lets you get bored. It never sort of stays in a groove for too long. If you don't like one particular gameplay mechanic, well, don't worry, because they're going to be moving on to 3 or 4 new ones pretty quick right on the heels of this. And that's the thing I kept thinking as I was playing this, is how easy all of this went down for me.
Totally.
Like I didn't have to fight with the game. It wasn't a struggle to play it.
And it's beautiful.
And it
in
really is an
2012, it's beautiful.
I can't believe I hadn't played this before.
Yes.
What's up with you? Ever played a video game before?
I actually like the psychedelic kind of weird tilt to all of this stuff. I thought it looked really cool.
I thought it looked a little raw for an HD conversion.
Yeah, I mean,
just
I thought the textures were all right. Very
a little
cartoony.
bit more, I don't know, just visual pop, you know? And it is a lush world. It's a world that feels alive and organic for sure.
Yeah.
I just felt like I wanted it to have a little more visual fidelity than it had.
I was pretty impressed.
I
For a
wasn't that
9-year-old
impressed.
game, I thought it looked pretty damn good.
I felt like there was room for improvement.
And, you know, the jumping mechanics are pretty solid. There are some collision problems in addition to some of the camera stuff, but it's a robust game. I think it's worth re-exploring these games. Now, I don't like Rayman 3 as much as Rayman 2, but I still think you have to play it if you're a Rayman fan like I am.
You know, it's been a long time since Rayman got his own brand new game, Jose.
Yeah, God, he's been around for a long time, though.
He has, and they've been focusing on all these Rabbids. You got all the Rabbit games, but enough with the Rabbids. Let's get back to the OG Limbless Star.
Like an Origin Tale, maybe?
Maybe an Origin Tale. How about Rayman Origin?
You get to play as Rayman and his buddies, and you get to go on an origin adventure, if you will. I don't really understand how it's an origin, but...
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't really tell you where Rayman came from. That whole origin story thing, I never really kind of got on board with. But what the game managed to do was tell a story, you know, in a really old school way. This is an homage to great old school platformers.
Definitely.
You know, you don't have any voice acting, you just have some text.
There's some babbling.
You have a lot of babbling. Yeah, but that's kind of like, that's the style, right? They nail it in all these little subtle ways. I mean, obviously the visuals are sumptuous and they just look amazing. But even
Scrumptious.
they are. They're
pretty good.
They're cromulent.
You can taste the
They're
credulousness.
I mean, it's a beautiful game. But even beyond that, they really dialed in the controls, and that's something you don't think about when you're playing a great platformer. This is one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a game all year. And if you play a level really well and zip right through it, you're almost creating music as you're playing it, and it's just embedded. You don't even think about it.
It creates awesome music, creates happiness, and creates good times. It's a success. Rayman Origins gets an 8 out of 10.
I agree with you. I love this game. 8.5 out of 10. You guys got to play it.
Loved all those games, but no Rayman game got onto my radar quite like Rayman Origins did. Nobody played that thing. It is still one of the most underrated video games of all time.
And it's on every platform. And a sequel is coming, Rayman Legends, so don't ignore that when that comes out. But congrats, Rayman, number 83 on our list.
Woo!